Hey everybody, I'm Salavalo. I've been to every country in the world and I'm now doing a series taking you inside of the world's poorest countries. I'm going continent by continent and today I'm going to talk about the poorest countries in the Americas. So let's get started. As a lot of you know, defining poorest is a little bit difficult. The metric that I'm using is GDP PPP per capita. What that looks at is the total amount of money that is produced in a country in a year divided by the number of people, and then adjusting it a little bit based on what the people are able to buy based on like a basket of goods and looking at the price differentials with other countries. I think that there's other stuff like the Human Development Index, which is also a good indicator of the wealth of a country or not. Usually these are pretty much in line. So the three countries I'm going to talk about today as the poorest countries in America, poorest by GDP PPP per capita, as well as by the HDI. The good thing about GDP per capita is that it gives us like a numerical figure that we can compare. So the poorest country in the Americas by far, and the only country outside of Africa that's in the top 15 poorest countries in the world, is Haiti. Now, why is Haiti so poor? Haiti has a GDP PPP per capita of just about $1,800. Now, the global average is about 17,000. So that means that it's almost the average person in Haiti has almost 10 times less than the average person globally, which is shocking when you think that it's so close to a lot of the bigger economies in the world, especially America, right above it, as well as being right next door to the Dominican Republic. Why is Haiti so poor? It's probably one of the most complicated stories of economic development, especially because of the wealth of the neighboring countries and how Haiti really is an outlier of low income in a continent that has above average wealth in most of the countries around it. One of the main reasons that people point to for Haiti's problems is its horrible leadership. It has had a handful of dictators. It has had huge levels of corruption. Another reason is its reliance on aid. So it hasn't enabled Haiti to really set up any kind of economy in itself. A lot of the countries around it, especially the Dominican Republic and the Caribbean countries, rely on tourism. Haiti has really low levels of tourism. Another reason is that Haiti is an outlier in another way, and that's the only French-speaking country in the region. And so that has kind of always made it a little bit of an outsider. It's the first country that got its independence in the Americas when the slaves revolted. So it has an inspiring history, but that has kind of led to it always to be at its own pace that is different from the rest of the region. It did get a lot of help from the Petrocaribe, which is the economic deal that Venezuela gave to a lot of the Caribbean nations to get oil a little bit more cheaply, to lock in the prices and to pay it back over time at really low interest rates. But obviously with Venezuela's problems in the past years, that hasn't kind of like panned out as well as anybody would say. Another reason why Haiti is so poor is because of the 2010 earthquake. Now, in a country that already has low levels of poverty, this was a crisis kind of beyond belief. Over 100,000 people lost their lives. The estimated damage in Haiti was about $9 billion. The annual GDP of Haiti is only about 18 or 19 billion dollars. So about half of the economy in the entire year was lost or damaged just by this earthquake. So completely devastating. So you took a country that was already poor, really low level of development, and just like knocked it down. It was the worst place that something like this could have happened, and it was horrible. So combination of mismanagement internally, not being connected to its successful regional partners, and just the intractable conflict and cycles of poverty. have led to Haiti's situation. So what did I do on my trip to Haiti? I had an amazing time in Haiti because one of my best friends, Shannon, who founded my NGO with me, Trail of Seeds, had been living in Haiti for 4 years. So I went and stayed with her. I was there for about 10 days, and it was very different than what a lot of people do when they're in Haiti or traveling more generally, because I love to travel with friends. It was really about seeing her. And so it was also unique because she got to show me all of the local spots that a lot of people didn't know. She now speaks Haitian Creole. She's very connected in the community. She was working with an NGO down there called Soil, which looks at different ways to do sustainable waste management. And so it was really fun to go spend time with her to kind of get that closer look into the country and to see all of her friends and people who are making big difference in Haiti. She was living up in Cap-Haïtien, which is the second largest city up in the north. The capital and the bigger city, Port-au-Prince, a little bit further south. So Cap-Haïtien is beautiful, this old colonial town. I would spend my days when she was at work just like walking around the old city. We'd go to the market, we'd get soursop and go eat all these delicious little Haitian street foods. We went to the beach. There's a handful of like gorgeous beaches around. We did a run up the mountain and got views out into the city, and it was just like an amazing time. We also went to there's a castle in Cap-Haïtien, so we went there for this concert. It was really fun to go to a place that is mostly known for its poverty, but then feel so instantly at home because I was with my best friend. Another fun thing on my trip to Haiti is that we did a lot of it by road. As you guys know, I love road trips. I entered 115 countries by land. I had arrived into Port-au-Prince, and then we took a bus up to Cap-Haïtien, so it was nice to see some of the rural areas as we were going. And then as I was leaving, I actually left through Dominican Republic, so again, we drove and did that border. So I like to see that, get a little bit more of like a rural sense of a country and not just stay in the capital cities. I would love to go back to Haiti though, explore it a little bit more, see some of the more touristy sites that I might have missed out, see some of the historical sites. My trip there was very much about visiting my friend, and I loved that, and it was a great trip. It'd be cool to go back and have a trip focus on learning more about Haiti in more specific ways. Now, the next two poorest countries in the Americas actually have almost 3 times as much wealth as Haiti. And these are both Central American countries, Honduras and Nicaragua. These two countries have been plagued by violence. Lately, Nicaragua has been having enormous protests, so they've been really unstable parts of the region, which has led to their lack of development. They also have a huge immigration problem with a lot of their population trying to leave and go up north to America and Mexico. So my trip to Honduras, I went in 2017. Rather than staying in the capital, Tegucigalpa, I actually don't know how to say it. I stayed in this place called Omoa, which is up in like the northern part, right on the border with Belize, and I loved it. There's this like beautiful fort there that was fun to explore and go all around. But the best part was I got a bike and I just drove a road all around this small town. I was staying in this small little like cottage thing, and I saw the best sunset I've ever seen in my entire life. I always say this whenever people ask me about Honduras, is just the sunset that I saw in Omoa. I spent the entire time that the sun was setting, like 2 hours or something, standing there taking photos. There's this like boardwalk going out, all of these people selling a little food and fishing and playing with their families, and I just took 1,000 photos. I mean, it was beyond gorgeous. So that's the most thing that I really remember about Honduras. Nicaragua was actually one of the first countries that I visited. I went in 2010. I had a friend from boarding school, Sylvia, who I loved and who is from Nicaragua, and she loves Nicaragua. She still lives there now, and she's like this Nicaragua, like wonderful, like energetic princess. And so I went to go visit her. I stayed for 10 days with her family. You know, we were young. We had a lot of fun going all around. We went to the volcano. They have a house on the Pacific side, so we went and stayed in the beach house where I saw a toad that I swear was like, I mean, it was just horrifying and frightening. It was just like in Haiti. It was really fun to go to a country and really just be hanging out with my friend, you know, to be eating her mom's home cooked food, to never have to worry about where we should go, what we should do, because my friend took amazing care of me. That's my favorite way to travel. I also then left Nicaragua by road. I went on a bus to Costa Rica to visit another friend. So again, that was fun to see a little bit of the country. Nicaragua has lately been struggling a lot Nicaragua has been struggling a lot with protests, and I don't think it's like the right time to visit, but because I last went almost 10 years ago, I'm really due to go back. Central America is actually probably the part of the world that I've spent the least amount of time in terms of like the number of days. Nicaragua and Costa Rica I was in for 10 days, in Mexico for like a week. But some of the other countries were, you know, like 3 or 4 days each. So I'd love to go back, spend a long time there, practice my Spanish and stuff. I guess I'll also briefly touch on one other country, which is Bolivia, which is the poorest country in South America. You know, the Americas I was looking at kind of like more broadly, but Bolivia is the poorest country in South America. Its GDP per capita is a little bit higher than 7,000. Again, comparing that to Nicaragua and Honduras, like about 5,000 or 6,000, and then Haiti, you know, 1,800. It's a little bit higher, you know, but Bolivia has had a lot of problems with being landlocked. They have a long conflict with Chile over access to the sea, which would help them in trading. They have some water crises and indigenous crises that have led to some unrest there. But my visit to Bolivia, just like my visits to Haiti and to Nicaragua, were to visit a friend of mine from boarding school. I went in 2011 in January, right after New Year's, and she lived in Santa Cruz de la Sierra, so not a place that most people go when they go to Bolivia, but again, it was really nice to just be like in my friend's house with her family, getting to know them. I was there for a week or something, and we also like went into the jungle like with her friends where they had like a little house, and we enjoyed that. But definitely a visit to see the friend, unless it's the time thinking about seeing the country. So you know, those three of these four kind of have that in common. Haiti, Nicaragua, Bolivia. A lot of my travels were like that, especially earlier on. I wasn't thinking about going to every country. I was just thinking about seeing my friends. And so I'm really lucky because I got to see the countries in a really unique way. And it was a great way to spend vacations when I was studying or working. But I would love to go back to all these countries. The Potosi salt flats in Bolivia are one of my like top bucket list items that I would love to go see. There's a lot to go see there, but I had an amazing time with my friend. So that is the video taking you guys inside the poorest countries in the Americas. I hope that you enjoyed it. Comment and subscribe and like, you know, send me messages, whatever. And I hope that you all will travel safely.